feel like the Tigers, considering they're 10 and 17, but Torkelson struggled, Riley Green has struggled, Michael Lorenzen and Matt Boyd, the two big free agent signings, haven't performed that well either. Obviously, the stuff with Austin Meadows, considering all that, the fact that we're still 10 and 17 and have been fairly competitive through the first month of the season, I think is a bright spot and a positive you can look at.
Yeah, I mean, you can look at Eduardo Rodriguez's performance out there. He's been very good pitching wise. Jason Foley, we've talked about this, has done a really good job. Zach McKinstry has told everybody don't judge a book by its cover, essentially, and has proven a lot of people wrong. And he's done really well off in the leadoff spot. Akil Baddoo is holding water, so everybody shut up about sending him down already, because that's another thing that's been annoying me. Why are you? Well, send Parker Meadows up instead of Parker. And they're and Dan mentions in the chat. Dan Fernandez mentions, and they're playing good teams. They're 10 and 17, holding water against April was a brutal. I mean, you look at Baltimore, they're only second behind Tampa. I mean, look at Tampa. I mean, Tampa outscored Detroit and they outscored the White Sox in Detroit somewhere in the neighborhood of like 37-5 or something. Just no. It was even worse than that. It was something ridiculous. Like I think it was 40-5. It was just something outrageous out there. And if this and really, I think it's problematic. VG said in there in the chat, and it's true. If it was just a league average offense, this would be a completely different team. And I think so too. I think if they had a little more power, I think they'd be fine. And here's a couple positives too. And again, we're never the super positive podcast, but the walk numbers are up. So last year at this time, after April, they walked at a 6.7 clip. This year, they're walking at 8.3 clip.
This offense was good. We wouldn't be so bad. Well, we said that last year. We're like, just as soon as this offense picks it up, and it never happened. I have a little more faith in the guys that they've put together this year. And I do take, like you mentioned, Zach McKinstry. Like I take that as a somewhat positive sign. It's a very small move, but Scott Harris and his brain trust thought they saw something there, and he's been one of the more consistent players. And that's what the Tigers need, is guys who could consistently perform. They don't have to be superstars. They just need some guys who can consistently do things. And most of the lineup can't do that, unfortunately.